Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how I make these little amigurumi whales. You can make them in different colors, different sizes. These are made in a cotton blend, I think with a tiny bit of polyester, which makes them the perfect yarn for amigurumi. These ones are filled with some chickpeas at the bottom because the kids like to squish them and play with them, and they have little tails that you can hang them up. What you're going to need is your yarn. I have two colors for the body and the tummy, and a crochet hook half a size smaller than what the yarn calls for. I have my scissors ready, I have my little black yarn ready, and my needle to make the eyes later, and a smaller hook to pull in the ends at the end. So what you need to know is how to make a magic circle, single crochet, increase and decrease. So I start off with 6 single crochets in the magic circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 and 6. And this is the only time I'm going to slip stitch it into the first one so that I have a nice round circle at the top. Just makes it look nicer. I tighten it really well. And now we're going to increase by 2. So we're going to go from 6 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we're just going to continue in the round. We are not going to join. I'm going to put my tail here so that I know where I started off. So now we're going to increase 2 and then 1 single crochet to get to 18. So 1 single crochet and then 2. Come on. One. That's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, and then we're going to increase again, but we're going to do two double crochets, and then in the next 2 just 1. 1, and now we have again 2 double crochets, and then in the next 2 just 1 and 1, and then 2 double crochets, and then 1 and 1, 2 double crochets, then 1, 1, 2 double crochets, 1 and 1, 2 double crochets, and 1 and 1, and we're back at our little tail here. And now we're going to do the final increase row, which is 2 double crochets, 3 singles, I said double crochet the whole time. It's single crochets, of course. So two singles, and then 3 in the next 3, 2 singles, and then 1, 2, 3, 2 singles, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 2 singles, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 2 singles, and then 1, 2 and 3, 2 singles, and then we have 3 left until we get to that little tail there. And that should bring us to 30 stitches. And this is all the increase we're going to do. Now we're just going to crochet all the way around 4 rounds. So this is the first round, and we're just going to crochet around, and you keep going, and that's going to make the little head of the whale. And you're going to know where you're at, because every time you meet the tail, that's your next round. So I'll let you make those 4 rounds, and then I'll tell you what to do. Okay, so here I am at my final 4th row. And if you want to check that you did the right amount of rows, you're going to just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what you should end up with when you're finished. We can pull this tail out for now. And now we're going to make the little tail. And then we're going to fasten that off and continue with the belly. So I'm going to, in the next stitch, use the back loop. Oh. And I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second chain from the hook, I'm going to make 2 double crochet. 1, 2. In the next one, I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Then I'm going to make a single crochet. And then I'm going to slip stitch into that one and chain another 4, 5. Okay, we're going to do exactly the same thing. 2 double crochet, followed by 2 half doubles, then a single, and then we're gonna slip stitch into that loop on the body, and we're going to cut the yarn. You only need about, look, 4 fingers. Cut it and then make a knot. And at this point, I just take that little tail and I sew it into the body just a little bit. I lost my needle yesterday, so now I have to use this plastic one, which is not as easy as the other one. Anyways, there you go. So he's nice and tightened. There he is, our little tail. Now we're going to take the white and we're going to go around and make our first round. We're just going to, and we're also going to only go on the back loops, and that's how you get this little ridge here, which makes it really cute. So I'm gonna just start here at the tail. It doesn't really matter where you start. Go in the back loop, pick up the white yarn, and chain. And I'm gonna work this tail in just a little bit. So back loop and make a single crochet. And we're just gonna single crochet the back loops all the way around. I think you get the idea. I'll meet you at the other side. Okay, so I'm almost all the way around. I'm at the tail piece, and I'm just gonna make sure that I find the back loops. You might have to look a little bit to find them. There we go. And then we're here again at our first back loop. I'm just gonna make a single crochet there, and then from there on it's just gonna be we're just gonna keep going in the round with our decreases. Now what we're gonna figure out is where our center is on this side, so we know where to put the eyes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold them double, and I'm gonna go along to find where the center piece is, and that's right about there. And you can then, oh, let's do it this way. You can then pull up your tail again to tell you where your center is. Now I'm gonna take my black yarn and I'm gonna make the eyes. Now I make my eyes like this usually. Yesterday I experimented and made a little angry one, which you could do, and you can experiment with how you make the eyes. But I thought usually I make these little upside down V's, and that's what I like to make. So I'm just gonna count 1, 2, 3 stitches, and this is where I'm going to put my first V, like so. There you go, there's his first eye. And then I'm gonna count another 3 stitches on the other side. Come up here, we're just gonna keep going. Doesn't matter, the yarn is on the inside. Make a little V. There you go. And there he is, there he has his eyes. Et voila. Now I'm going to snip my yarn, my black yarn, off, and I'm gonna tie this little black so it doesn't come loose. You could of course use the little safety eyes, but I prefer to do it this way. It's less plastic. There you go, his little eyes, and we can pull out the tail. We don't need that anymore, so we just leave all the tails inside. So now we're gonna start with our decreases, and it's basically gonna be the opposite of what we did here, and we're gonna decrease. So we're gonna do 3 single crochets. Let's see, 3 single crochets. That is 1 and 2 and 3, and then we're going to do a decrease. I'm only going to decrease in the front loops, which is going to give you less holes in your decreases. 1, 2, and 3, and then decrease in the front loops only. There's many different ways you could do this, but for me, I found this the easiest way to do my decreases. And there we go. 1, 2, and 3, and another decrease. 1, 2, 3, and another decrease. And here's our, I think, our final decrease. Okay, and then now we're going to do 2 double crochets. No, I think I still needed to make 3 and then a decrease. Yeah, there we go. 2, 3, and then a decrease. Now we're going to, after that, we're going to do 2 double crochets, 2 single crochets, and then a decrease. So 1, 2, and a decrease. And we're just going to keep going round and round, decreasing. 1, 2, and another decrease. 1, 2, and another decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease, and 1 and 2, and a decrease. And now our next row will be one single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, and I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, so here we are again at, and we did our 1 single, 1 decrease, 1 single, 1 decrease, and you see now we have a tiny hole left, and this is, for me, the time that I like to put in my stuffing. I use polyester filling from old pillows, or I use all my little off cuttings of yarn that I've collected. I've also heard that people cut up t-shirts, old t-shirts. So you really don't need to buy stuffing. There's a lot of stuff in the house that you could use. I also like to use, so I sometimes at this point, when he's like half filled, I put in little dried beans or dried chickpeas to give it a little bit of texture and crunch, and the kids really enjoy that, and it makes it a little weighted. But this one is going to be for a mobile, so I need to be him a baby mobile, so I need him to be really, really light. I'm going to stuff him until he's nice and round, so that he keeps his shape. Just a few more, and then we'll be good. I'm trying not to overstuff because we want a nice shape, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. And now I'm I'm at my decreases only, basically. So for me, this is always the hardest part. So yeah, decrease, and then decrease until I think we're gonna have 6 stitches. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I didn't count everything perfectly. The results are almost the same. I think we're almost at the end of that decrease. We're almost there, guys. Let's see. I'm just gonna do one more, and then I'm done with my decreasing. Okay. Oh, no. There we go. And decrease. There we go. Now I'm gonna cut my yarn about, what, 10 centimeters. I'm gonna pull it through, and I'm gonna attach my darning needle. And this is how I'm going to close the belly. So I'm gonna go through each stitch that is left, and then I'm going to tighten that so it closes all the way up. And at this point, you know, you see my decreases weren't perfect, which is okay. At this point, I like to go through some of the open gaps and try and fill them up a little bit to make it look like it's been done better. But I'll make a little knot, and put the yarn inside like that. And then I'm just going to take a smaller hook and pull in the tail so it becomes part of the stuffing. Okay, guys, we're almost there. We've almost got our tiny little whale. So, oh gosh, there we go. So he has his eyes, he has his tail, everything is set. And now all that's left to make is our little, tiny little, my kids call them arms, but they're fins. They're tiny little fins. So we go back to our blue color and our 3.5 hook. And the eye is an indication of where we're gonna place it. So we have our little ridged edge here. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th, we're gonna pull up a loop, and we're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna make, I like to make 6, you can make 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6, and then just cut it off about 4 fingers and pull it through, and that makes your little knot. And then we're going to do the other side first. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and on my 4th I'm going to make my hook through. I'm going to pull up a loop, pull up a loop and chain one and just leave that tail hanging because we're gonna make a knot later so that it's secure. So that's my chain one. Now I'm gonna single crochet 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That one went a little quicker. Oh, 6, and cut it off at about 4 fingers and pull it through. We're almost there. Now we're going to take our darning needle onto the one where we cut it off, and we're going to attach it to the stitches below. And this is where I like to just make a knot with that tail that we had, just to secure it all. Make sure it stays in place, and then just pull the yarn through nicely, both pieces. There we go. And there's your little fin. So on the other side, we're going to do the exactly same thing. This is where we cut it off. We're going to pull it, we're going to sew it through one of the ridges. Oh, that's a little short, but that's okay if it's really short. I'll show you how to make that work. We're going to make that little knot so that it's nice and secure. We're going to pull this one through. There we go. And then I'm going to just put my needle in to meet up with this tiny little piece, because there's no way I could have put it in the needle and then pulled it through. You just take it a little bit and you just pull it. There you go. And now all we have to do is use the smaller hook and pull that yarn in. This one I could probably just move. There you go. That was easy. One more. There you go. Pulled it all in. And there is our tiny little whale. Squish him up. Now what you can do is pull some yarn through so that you have a little string to hang them up. You can just leave them like this as a toy, or you can put in longer pieces to make it into a mobile. There's so many different things that you can do with these little whales. They're great as little gifts for kids.